Welcome back to part 2 with the infamous Rockka Lashawn, and hopefully you caught the first one. This one we're going to kind of just go in detail a little bit more about her year this year. Again, personally knowing her, and then just seeing her growth. 2016 was just a year that I think that not only did she recognize her gift, but a lot of people that she blessed through her push recognized her gift. So I kind of just want you to, and if you didn't catch it again, this is Rockka Lashawn, the famous, never can get an appointment stylist, beautician out of Madison, booked for 3 and 4 months at a time. Trust. But just a great story to tell. But as we get back into it, again, your 2016 was a year of challenges and you persevered. So if you can kind of just share a little background. I know you lost a child, and in the process of that, you prevailed. Just to watch you and to see you pour yourself out to people and help people through that process, and still give encouraging words, and still pray for other people, and still use your hands and your gift to bless people after something so tragic yet great. Like what inside did you helped you to keep going and to not give up and to not stop the fight, to pursue what you feel your vision is?
Sometimes I know, sometimes I don't know. This was really recent. What's today is January 3rd, and I lost my son on October 15th of 2016. Today is January 3rd of 2017. So it's still pretty fresh for me, and sometimes hard to talk about, but I find that talking about it makes things easier, because if I'm not talking about it, I'm holding it all in. So I probably stayed off of work. Well, I was pregnant for 9 months. I was 2 weeks away from my due date, and then I went to the doctor. His heart wasn't beating, so I had to go in labor and have him stillborn. So I never got to hear him cry. I never got to see his eyes open, any of that. And so sometimes I feel a little bit disconnected from it, but being off of work, that helped for a little bit. Then after a while, I really felt a strong need to come back to work, because everybody who knows me knew me when I was pregnant. They were getting their hair done when I was in here taking 1,000,001 breaks to use the bathroom because the baby was sitting on my bladder, and 1,000,001 breaks because I gotta, being pregnant, I gotta throw up or eat or whatever the case. So talking to my clients made me feel better. They knew my struggles while I was pregnant, how I was so frustrated and stressed out trying to be, a mom with my daughter, and work. And I worked so much. I always felt like I had to be trying to get some money. So this goes back to realizing when it's time to separate the two. So I did all that working and trying to be prepared for my baby to come and have the perfect baby shower and buy all of this stuff and make sure everything was super comfortable, and stressing everybody out, clean this, clean that, do this, do that, because I'm pregnant and it's all about me. And then at the end of it all, I didn't even get to have my baby come home with me. I just brought home a box of stuff, a box of keepsakes that they gave me at the hospital. So I think that this has definitely made me take a step back to realize what's important. I'm not taking as much time arguing with anybody as I was before. You know what I mean? I'm just letting things just kind of roll over my shoulders, because life is always going to go on, and nothing can ever break me down like that broke me down. So I gotta keep going. When I'm not doing anything, or when I'm not trying to be great or get to the next level, that's depressing. You know what I mean? And all I'm doing is sitting and sulking and thinking about this and feeling sorry for myself. That's depressing. So I definitely have to keep going, and to keep myself alive, and I have to be strong for my daughter.
So having similar situations and knowing a lot of entrepreneurs that have went through some tragic things and still push through, what was it for you that was just like, I still gotta keep going? What was that push?
I think it was my daughter, because she talks to me like she really understands what happened with her baby brother. She was really, really excited to be a big sister. She couldn't wait for him to come home. And then when I had to come home, me and her dad had to come home and tell her that he wasn't coming home with us, or that he had passed away, she was like, we both started crying. And she said, oh, now both of you guys are crying. Come on now, just give me a smile. And I was like, wow, like, you know, like we just told her that her brother died and she's telling us to give her a smile, like just to be positive.
Being around somebody that will understand and support
and
push.
Yes, and she definitely just keeps me, like, she makes me remember little things like, okay, it's gonna be okay, Mom. She told me that God and the nurses in heaven are taking care of the baby, and it's okay. God is gonna babysit the baby. So she definitely keeps me going and brings me back to center.
2 angels.
Yes,
one that's here,
one in heaven and one on
earth.
You. Yes.
Again, just watching that, I mean, it motivated me because I thought I was going through some things, but just as a mother of 2, and to know. You know, I mean, that happened a while ago, but to know, like, I still have to come in and I still have to persevere, yet I still have to deal with self. Just to see you go through that, it was just really like, okay, you don't have excuses. I don't have excuses. If this is my purpose and this is my journey, through the pain, you still persevere. And I think that just from the outpouring of people that you touch, just reading your Facebook page and your social media page, I don't think you realize how you blessed us, how you blessed me, just other women that's just like, oh my God, if she could do it after losing a child, if she can do it and still come in here, and she did this after the fact and still use your gift to bless us, this is a platform that you deserve. So, you know, I want to give you your flowers and your roses because you are amazing, and I want you to start accepting that. But just to, you know, to throw that out there. So as we swing that around, because I see that emotions are coming.
Yeah. I don't want to cry.
What would you share with a young woman coming in the beauty industry, the stylist industry, the hair industry, even makeup? I mean, you do it all. Coming in, not having experience, or clientele as great as yours. What are some tips, 3 things that you would say, if you do these things, I'm guaranteeing you that you will make it to the next level?
Okay, first I want people to realize that this is not a hobby. Like, I mean, if it's a hobby, you treat it like a hobby.
Right.
If it's a hobby, you don't go to hair school for it and rent out a space and go work at a salon and all that kind of stuff. And it has to be more than just a hobby. Of course, you have to like doing it, but you also have to see yourself doing it long term and having a career in it and things like that. Investing yourself, exactly. So if you feel that way about it and you would like to go to the next step, I would like to say, always remember that in any industry, in any business, that you cannot please everybody. That is so important. That is so important to know, because people will go and put 10 different hair colors on their hair and bleach it and do all these things to it, and then come to you with hair completely fried and expect you to fix it because you're a licensed hairstylist. We are not magicians. We are people with hair licenses that specialize. Well, some people think we're magicians, but you got to let the ones know that you can't help that you're not a magician. Okay. So just realize that you cannot please everybody, and that will help you get so far. And you really have to know how to deal with different people. You really have to have good temperament. Is that the word?
Yeah.
Because you're going to deal with some situations that are unideal, I guess I would say. You're going to deal with people who are unhappy or unsatisfied, but you have to and I guess the third thing would be to always focus more on the love than the hate, because people are more likely to share negative experiences, and then they're going to blow them up, and the story's going to be something completely different from what really happened. And then if you start to feed into that, you're always going to look worse off because you're the business person. Think of it if you go into any store right now. It doesn't matter how you act, but if they react in a way that is unprofessional, you are going to tell a million people about it, and you're going to think that was just horrible for them to act that way as a business professional. So I would say, have good temperaments, realize that you cannot please everybody, and I forgot what else I said.
So it was invest in self.
Yes.
Making sure you taking the time to certify yourself, to get that education behind you, to get that knowledge behind you.
Yes. If it's more than just a hobby, you
that customer service, that professionalism. I think that's what you were looking for. That temperament, which equals into that customer service
as well.
Giving your customer what you would want in return. And then one that I really, really love was focus more on the love. And I think that's more so focused on the greatness or the good things that's coming out of it versus, you know, sometimes they're not going to be.
Because the love is what grows you. The hate is what hinders you. So, and then like she said about making excuses, a lady who I used to work with at a salon, they used to train us, used to always say at the end of every time, excuses reduces.
Okay, now I'm gonna keep that. Excuses reduces. I'm telling my daughter who's holding the camera. No, I'm just playing.
Leave her alone. She's doing a good job.
Yes, thank you, Taylor, for supporting us behind the camera. But I enjoyed Miss Rockka, and as we end every show, which is always my favorite question because it's always such a different outlook for every woman that stands in front of this camera. When you think about becoming her, what does that mean to you?
I think that means realizing that you can always be something else when you grow up.
Hey.
Like, people always say, what do you want to be when you grow up when you're a kid? But when you're grown up, they figure that you should already know what you have going on, what you're about to do next and all that. Becoming her to me is a journey. It's realizing that I may not be where I want to be, but I'm also not where I once was. So you're always growing, you're always learning from your experiences and all those different kinds of things, and just realizing that it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to have those downfalls. It's okay to hit rock bottom, but as long as you know that there's nowhere you can go but up from there, you're going to always be becoming her.
I love that, the transition and the journey of understanding, although you're not where you want to be, you're not where you used to be, but you are in transition to becoming.
Exactly.
Yay! Amazing. So how can they follow your amazing journey? How can they follow, if they ever try to get into this packed schedule that you have, what are some ways that they can follow you, social media, contact wise?
Well, I'm Rockka Lashawn everything. At Rockka Lashawn on Instagram, at Rockka Lashawn on Facebook, well, specifically at Rockka Lashawn Ultimate Entrepreneur.
Okay.
Those are my business pages because eventually I want to do more than, you know, doing hair.
Okay.
So it's at Rockka Lashawn, ROCKKALASHAWN. Dash Ultimate Entrepreneur. That's on Instagram. That's also on Facebook. I'll be getting